What is humanity? What makes something human? Is it flesh? Is it blood? Is it thought? Is it action? Is it morale? Can a human stop being human? Can something innately inhuman become human? Well, I have no idea, but Stellar Blade might have a thing or two to say. Okay, I'll do the voice now. Stellar Blade is an action-adventure Souls-like by Shift Up, published by Sony on April 26, 2024. Initially, people were calling it the new DMC or Bayonetta, even though it played absolutely nothing like either of them. But hey, it ended up being a decent game anyway, so I can't really complain. Stellar Blade sees you play as Eve, the complete manifestation of Eastern over-sexualization for basement-dwelling single men in their basement to gawk over, and for the pessimistic to use as an excuse to call the game softcore, with no real substance without actually playing the game themselves. Eve drops down from a massive spaceship with one goal in mind that's kept throughout the rest of the game: eliminate the Elder Naytiba. Across the game, you'll see many different types of monsters called Naytibas. Monsters that roam the earth doing nothing but terrorize and slaughter what little remains of mankind. Naytibas come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, from tiny little guys to a biblically accurate angel. You also get paired with Adam, whose name in relation to Eve has absolutely no biblical undertones whatsoever, and Lily, a mechanically adept airborne squadron member who you find later on in the story. I don't intend to cover all of the game's main plot, mostly because the game is just too long to do that normally. Instead, I'm just going to highlight things that tie into the game's theme of humanity. But we might as well start from the beginning. Raphael Marx, a true man of culture, he was smart, rather inventive, and even made quite a few things of his own. But his most notable invention was the creation of an AI designed to help humanity. No, not that. He made Mothersphere. Mothersphere was created to advance humanity and propel them into a new stratosphere, and so she did. Mothersphere, early in her life, took a look at the human race. She murmured, looking through their cores, pores, and hearts. She saw nothing but complete and utter obsolescence. I could do better, she said, and so she did. She created Andro-Eidos, a race of androids designed to be just like humanity, but so much better. These Andro-Eidos weren't just androids though, they were practically human. They had emotions, character, wants, goals, but all had one undying devotion that would lead to the destruction of the human race. Their allegiance to Mothersphere and her version of humanity. War struck. Andro-Eidos, vicious and brutal, they completely decimated humanity. The survivors fled underground and into hiding. They needed a way to fight back, some way to get their planet back. Raphael Marx, hoping to fix his mistake, helped to find a solution to their problems, and so they did. But of course, this would come at a cost. Forced evolution. They underwent mutations, spreading and mutating each human like a disease. They became monstrous beings. While they still had blood and bone and flesh, they lost their humanity, and despite this, one real human being remained. Raphael Marx, the head of these rapid mutations, the man behind it all, the only one left who could truly remember what the world was like before Mothersphere. A man so desperate to advance humanity he ended up destroying it. But alas, he was also mutated. The most unique Naytiba. While some may have possessed intelligence or even critical thinking, they were forever bound by their hostile instincts. Raphael Marx wasn't. He had retained his body, his soul, his conscience. Upon awakening to his new form, he was distraught at the world that he had created. He felt a deep regret in his chest. He needed to fix this. He was no longer a normal human being. He had powers like no other. One could even call him a god. But even with this, him alone was not going to be enough to undo Mothersphere's apocalypse. He took up the name Adam, and looking for a solution, he found one. If Adam could not revert humanity to what it once was, nor could he feasibly eradicate the Andro-Eidos and Mothersphere, then perhaps he could fuse them together to create a whole new human race. The flesh and blood of the Naytiba with the mind and compassion of the Andro-Eidos. What would come of that? And in order to do that, he needs someone to fuse with. An Andro Eidos that was as human as he was. One that was willing to go against Mother Sphere. One that recognizes what humanity once was and was turned into. Or at least is open to such things. An Andro Eidos that fought for good and not just for Mother Sphere. And so he finds Eve. An Andro Eidos who had just witnessed the death of her comrade. And so Adam and Eve get acquainted and the game begins. And when the time comes, he'll give her one last decision, to fuse with him, combine Andro Eidos and Naytiba together, in hopes of advancing humanity in the way that he couldn't before, a mistake he's long since been needing to correct, or do what she was literally made to do and kill him right then and there, finishing her mission once and for all, letting Mother Sphere's humanity reign supreme over the corpses of the previous mankind. And no matter the choice she makes, humanity will always stick around, either in its life or what it left behind. The world of Stellar Blade is a beautifully sad one, especially in the linear locations. A lot of it can feel drab and depressing, not because of what it is, but because of what it once was. But the music itself can be serene and upbeat. Not in the happy-go-lucky way, but instead, a more calm, dissonant way. Despite the horrors that surround these places, the complete abandonment of them, hope for the future stopped existing in these places. There's barely any actual life anymore. There are only Naytibas and the corpses of Andro Eidos that once weren't. Camps set up by the Andro Eidos that probably aren't even alive anymore. It all teems with life. Not because it is there, but because it was. Sure, Andro Eidos had forced humanity into the ground, but they very clearly weren't prepared for them to transform into Naytibas. Then the reverse came true. The Naytibas had forced the Andro Eidos into space. But that doesn't mean that the planet was only inhabited by Naytibas past that point. The last remaining city, Zion, founded by guess who? In a Stanford Business article by Lee Simmons, he talks about the relations between humans and AI, and what makes humans distinct from AI. He brings up a test where 20 human attributes were drawn up, and these were then divided into two categories. One were traits that we shared with AI, and one were attributes or distinct to human beings. I want to highlight the latter attributes. As we see throughout the game, Andro Eidos have beliefs, particularly in Mother Sphere. They also place a heavy emphasis on each other's memories, with memory sticks being a vital part of the Andro Eidos culture. Andro Eidos also show the capability of having their own morals, as seen with Eve in the ending where she accepts Adam's hand, disregarding her original mission in favor of what she believes is the right thing to do. And while the Andro Eidos have come to embrace these sorts of things, the Naytibas have come to push them away, mostly as a side effect of what they needed to do to survive. The Andro Eidos embody both attribute categories, while all Naytibas have neither of them save for Adam. Once again, at the end of the game, Adam gives you two decisions, to help him or kill him. In my first playthrough, I didn't trust him, so I killed him, thereby killing the last legitimate human. In my second playthrough, the one you're seeing right now, I so graciously accepted his offer, but since I didn't do all the nifty little side quests, through this playthrough at least, Lily just died. And so I killed some of Mother Sphere's loonies as revenge. Truth be told, humanity might not be a certain thing for anybody. Asserting what is and isn't human has always been a tough subject for many people, myself included, particularly when it comes to fiction. The Andro Eidos aren't human, but it can be very easy to forget that they aren't because they're just so much more human than anything else we see in the setting. I personally like to think about what they represent rather than what they actually are. I believe that the Naytibas represent the desperation of humanity's survival, that at the very least humanity will always do what it can to survive. If they have to throw out everything that made them human to begin with, then so be it. As long as you get to see the next sunrise, then surely it'll be worth it. With their Andro Eidos representing what humanity once was, to some extent. The good and the bad. Love and compassion, but also corruption and condemnation. Both perpetuated by Mother Sphere herself. Regardless, I do think that one truth remains throughout the entire game, and one that I think rings true for us as well. Humanity will live forever, either in its perpetuated existence, kept alive by those who refuse to let the flame die out, or on the impact that it's left on the world, the traces that it left behind, the present that it has created, or the future that those with it can create. Humanity will remain forever impactful on the universe, and that, I believe, is humanity's one undeniable truth. Pretty different from the last video, don't you say?